let's remember how we divide fractions. So let's say I have two fractions. I'll do 8/9 divided by 4/5. So on the first fraction, you're going to keep it the same. So you're going to keep that fraction the same, so I'm going to keep that as 8/9. Then, remember, we're going to change our division sign to a multiplication sign. Our goal with division is to change it into a multiplication problem. Then, I'm going to flip my second fraction into what we call the reciprocal. So I'm going to rewrite that. Instead of 4/5, I'm going to write that as 5/4, or 5/4. Now I have a multiplication problem, which is pretty straightforward to solve because all I have to do is multiply my numerators and multiply my denominators. So when I do that, I get 40/36. Now, technically this answer is correct. However, it's always best practice in fractions to put it into simplest form. So recall that this is an improper fraction because my numerator is larger than my denominator. So the best practice is to turn that into a mixed number. So if you recall from the other day, the way I do that is I divide 40 by 36. I always divide my numerator by my denominator. So 36 goes into 40 one time. I subtract, and I end up with a remainder of 4. So if you remember, your denominator in your fraction, or your mixed number, I should say, is always going to stay the same. So I know the denominator is 36. My remainder is going to be my numerator, and then my quotient, or the number of times 36 divides into 40, is going to be my whole number. Now again, 1 and 4/36, technically correct. However, I can put it into lowest terms. So I have 1 and 4/36. I can reduce 4/36 by dividing by the GCF, which is 4. And that gives me 1/9. My whole number always stays the same. That does not change. So my final answer is 1 and 1/9. A couple of reminders about division. If you encounter a problem with mixed numbers, let's say I have 3.5 divided by 1 and 1/4. Before you do anything, you need to change those mixed numbers into improper fractions. So I would change 3.5 into 7/2 divided by 5/4. Now I can do my keep, my change, and my flip. And then it becomes 7/2 times 4/5. And then I would just solve that like I would any other multiplication problem and simplify.